Here's the creek. Here's the tent sites. And this is one I stayed at last time I did the PCT. So I think this might be the first time I've stayed at the same site that I stayed at last time. This little shallow creek had so many interesting things happening last night. Seems pretty quiet now. On all of these trees in the background, the lichen stops at roughly the same height. Seen lots of these piles of a huge tree that fell down and then just sort of disintegrated. I'm usually wrong about the weather based on the cloud signs. I'm not gonna guess. The weather will be what the weather will be. The section that I'm on now, from Truckee to Sierra City, is only about 38 miles. So I did about 10 of that yesterday, doing some today, and then I'll get into Sierra City tomorrow. Those over there, I think, are the Sierra Buttes, which I will go by or into after Sierra City. It's an interesting fly with an orange butt. Here's break number 3. There's thimbleberries in here. So the general rule with berries is that with smooth berries, you have no idea, those could totally be poisonous. But if they're made of lots of little globules, like these, and blackberries and raspberries, lots of little tiny bumps, then usually, and don't quote me on this, but usually they're good to eat. And thimbleberries are really delicious. They're a tiny bit tart, tiny bit sweet. They taste kind of like a currant. They're like a currant jam, and they're really soft and delicate. Today has been a really mellow day in every way, which I've just been thoroughly enjoying. It's nice to just cruise and enjoy being in the woods. The trail has been so easy today that I am on track to do 24 miles today, which is going to be my biggest mile day yet, but not my hardest day by a long shot. And that's with taking really long breaks and taking lots of naps and everything. But it's good that I am getting a big day in today, so tomorrow I'll have a short day and I have things to do. So tomorrow I get into Sierra City and then I start working my way up to Cascade Locks, for trail days, which is this weekend. And I'm really excited. I'm gonna get to see my mom and dad. I'm gonna get to eat lots of good food. I'm gonna get to refresh all of my gear. And then I'm gonna hopefully get to see a lot of people from trail that I met in the early days, and they're now way ahead of me, but they're gonna go to trail days too. And so hopefully trail days will just be one big, huge reunion. And trail days can be a little overstimulating for a lot of hikers because it is a lot of people and a lot of energy after we've been mostly alone or in small groups in the woods for months. But I am still very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a really fun time. I wonder if this is what the gooseberries look like when they're ripe. These ones I will not be trying. But my plan for trail days is to get off of trail tomorrow, Thursday, and then hopefully be back on trail Tuesday evening. It'll be almost a week of zeros. Maybe get back on trail Wednesday. I don't know, we'll see. There's been logging semi-recently in this area. Lots of new plants today. Ooh, those down there look really cool. It's like a waterfall, but made out of moss, and it goes all the way up to the top there. I've been descending elevation pretty much all day, and I'm in the low 5,000 feet. I think I'll be camping right at 5,000, and this is the first time I've been down that low on trail since before the Sierra. So it's really cool to see all of the different plants and ecosystems that are cropping up down here. Wonder what causes that coloring pattern. The inside looks kind of dried and dead, and then the outer ring looks alive-ish. There's Milton Creek. I think here's my tent site. And then over here, there's this old stone wall. Doing a gear inventory. One of my stakes broke like a month ago. I've just been using it as is, but I'm gonna grab a new one. These are just the ones I use for the guy outs. Like this is not a necessary structural thing. It just gives me a little bit more space inside. For anything like the corners and here, I use the MSR mini groundhogs, which are super strong. But these weigh nothing and also break like they're nothing. Okay, most of the gear that needs a refresh is clothing. So my calf sleeves are supposed to be compression, and I think here is where the elastic is still intact. Here it's completely just destroyed. And over here. So there's no way that these are actually compressing anything anymore, and they're mostly just for sun protection at this point. I'm not sure why they failed. Maybe just how long I've been using them every single day for months, or also maybe my calves have gotten so big and so strong from so much hiking that they just like burst the calf sleeves. And that's the one that I'm gonna go with for sure. Gaiters are actually doing super well. They are fragile and usually they get holes in the ankles, but they don't. My socks are super dirty right now. Let's see if I can show this. When I
That's how much dirt. It literally looks like a mud flat that is drying out in the sun. But anyway, besides the dirt, there's a hole here and a hole here and a giant hole here. And I think this one has even more, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4 big holes. And I put Leukotape on my heels proactively when these were falling apart, to protect my heel from blisters from the lack of protection, because also at my heel, my shoes are falling apart. There's just nothing back there. That's just the hard plastic back of the shoe. All the foam has fallen out. And these ones too, probably, if it was possible to see. Yeah, that's the main. This one has a hole in the toe right where my right foot also has a hole, so my bare pinky toe has just been airing out. The shirt is doing pretty good, except there's some thin areas, I don't think you can even see it in this lighting, where if it starts ripping, I'm just gonna get rips all up and down this. And the shorts are just having a problem at the hem everywhere. I've re-hemmed it multiple times, but there's always somewhere that's coming apart, and I think just the thread is starting to degrade. So I'm hoping to re-hem the whole shorts. And then my sun gloves have quite a few holes, even though the spot where I mended is actually holding pretty well, but everywhere else, left one's doing all right, but it is going up here.